Hello, my name is Andrea Quill, and this is my culture chest assignment video. So I'm gonna start. Here it is. Here, I'm gonna start with the inside. So, and the inside are my identities that I feel are fundamental to my worldview. Um, so what I'm gonna start with first is Minnesota Wildcat. This represents being white. Um, Unfortunately, I mean, the professional hockey league is getting better with diversity, but it's definitely, when I was trying to think of something to me that said, white people, this was something I had that represented that. So that is that. Another of my social identity is female. So nothing more female than a tampon. So definitely that's, you know, how I see the world so far is through a white female. Also, my macaroni and cheese represents middle class because if you grew up middle class like me, you ate a lot of this. And then another piece of it is represented by the butterfly, and that is for my mental illness. I was diagnosed with major depression several years ago, and it's my treatment and everything has definitely affected my outlook on life and how I see the world and differences. So the butterfly is representative because there's a story, it's long, I won't go into it, but a little kid finds a caterpillar, creates a cocoon. When it starts to break open, the kid opens it to help him. But then the butterfly can't fly, and so mom asks a specialist, and they say butterflies need to struggle out of the cocoon. That's how their wings develop. And so butterflies can't fly unless they struggle first. And so it's a very good representation to me of my mental illness. I've gone through a lot of struggles, but now I'm ready to fly. And then the last thing in my culture chest is representative of being a child of divorce and also having a parent that was deceased when I was young. I don't have a great, but I have here a picture of my dad from the 70s. My parents split when I was 7, and then my dad passed away when I was 13. And so I definitely think that affects my worldview and how I look at the world. The majority of my friends at the time had parents married, happily married, didn't lose a father type of thing. So it's definitely been a piece. I also, unfortunately, 15 years ago, lost a stepdad as well. So I think both of those huge losses in my life have definitely shaped how I view the world. And then on the outside, for how I think others view my social identities, I just have some pictures. I'm going to start with kind of my favorite one. So I want to see is this guy. And you're probably wondering why a cat is on there, but he is my other representation of white. I struggled with that. So that's my boy Casper. He's 11. I also have an all black kitty, Raven. So I have one of each, but he's my white representation. Because then obviously the world sees me as a white person, and that definitely affects. Another one is, I don't want to give the others away yet, plus size. I definitely feel I'm a big person, big woman, and I definitely feel that affects how people see me and influence the way they treat me. I'm not some skinny little mini thing. And I definitely can sometimes feel how that affects. I try not to, so I can honestly say, fortunately, I've gotten to a point in my life where I can look past that. But it definitely still comes into play. Definitely. Another one, again, goes back to my mental illness. And if you see there, it's a butterfly tattoo, but it also has the mental health semicolon, and I have that. It's actually right here. That's my ear. So I am definitely, with my mental illness and what I've gone through, I share it as much as I can because it's something not discussed. Um, so it's definitely, you can't be around me too much or know me very much without hearing something of what I've gone through, especially because it's been in the past few years. And if you don't know, then this is a way of letting you know. I was actually in the hospital and recently and had a doctor comment on it, um, because he had lost a brother-in-law to suicide a year and a half ago, and that's what I want it for, is to open that discussion, because I am more than happy to have that discussion of what I've gone through, what, things I know, whatever. That's definitely something that's really I'm passionate about, um, which is probably part of the reason why, part of my uh, reasoning and wanting to become a social worker, because this is a career change for me, and also, um, that's a piece in social work I definitely want to be involved with at some level, um, because mental health is so crucial. Um, Ideally, I would love with kids because that's when I needed it. Like I said, I was 13 when my dad died, and my parents were divorced and had no support for that. And um, it's obviously something I'm very passionate about. So if anybody ever has any questions, needs it with mental health, I'm an open book. Glad to be here. The other two kind of go together. One is divorce. I was married for 17 years and appeared on the surface happy to everybody. So when I said we were getting divorced, it was quite a shock. And I do find now, it's been 4 years, and it's still, there's a little stigma with it, even though unfortunately divorce is so much more common. You get viewed a little differently. You're not part of a couple, and especially because I'm still single, I haven't like immediately had to find that new partner. I mean, I'm dating, but I'm the priority, and it's got to be just right. I don't need to be, I want to be, absolutely, but um it's, and people don't get that, especially at my age. I'm 47, and people are like, oh, what, you're single? Yeah, because I haven't found the right guy. um I digress. Anyway, my last one is this: children on board with no. That kind of ties in because I don't have children, and that is quite a shock to people, especially when they knew I was married 17 years. What? You don't have kids? Whatever. Um, and it's not because I don't want them. I wanted them. We tried. We weren't able. It's not physically possible for everybody, and the alternatives aren't financially possible for everybody. And that's one I've always really felt since, after like 5 years of being married, and hit my 30s. When are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna have kids? I'm like, if you only knew. Um, and I know that still plays a part, when people meet me and, oh, you're divorced. Oh, do you have kids? No, no. And it's just, some people don't want to, and that's perfectly fine. Some people can't, and that's perfectly, not fine. But um, having kids and being married is something that totally defines people. Um, and some people get a lot of their value from that, which, I mean, the value of being a parent, absolutely, but you're also a person. Um, and so every now and then I encounter somebody that just doesn't quite get it. Um, but you do what you can. And anyway, so that is my culture chest, personal inventory. I really like this assignment. It was nice. I spent most of it, like, I took my time and just really thought about everything and focused on things. And it was really, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I'm really enjoying this class. It's making me challenge myself even more than I did before. And this was definitely very interesting to put together. So, thank you. Hope you enjoyed.